My name is Pres Kavikoff. I'm CEO of HRI Properties. The company's mission is to create diverse, vibrant, and sustainable neighborhoods. There is no more important neighborhood in the city of New Orleans than the actual city center, the major components of which include Charity, Upper Canal Street, and the former Iberville Public Housing Project. Initially, my thinking was to focus on Iberville, which I presented many years ago to the then Lieutenant Governor, Mitch Landrieu, who said I was thinking too small and should expand my vision to include the area bounded by the Pontchartrain Expressway on the west to Armstrong Park on the east. This PowerPoint shows that expanded vision. In determining the health of our city, people worldwide do not look to see how St. Bernard, Plaquemine, the North Shore, New Orleans East, or Jefferson Parish are doing. Our calling card is the 9-mile stretch from Carrollton Avenue to the Industrial Canal, bounded by the 5 miles north to south, river to the lake. That's what you see in this area. A healthy city center raises all metropolitan boats. Our riverfront, also known as the sliver on the river, and our lakefront are healthy. Our soft underbelly is the 9-mile swatch in the city's center from Carrollton to the Industrial Canal. Revitalizing this whole 9-mile stretch would be a pipe dream, but if you're going to make a real difference, it'll take a dramatic undertaking. In response to the federal government's choice grant, HRI was designated by the Housing Authority of the City of New Orleans to revitalize Iberville and the surrounding neighborhood. Designated for revitalization is Tulane Avenue to St. Bernard and Loyola Rampart to Broad Street, which is 2.5 times the size of the French Quarter. Fixing this city center connects the healthy riverfront to the lakefront, which allows New Orleans to become like a Paris, an Afro-Caribbean Paris, where you can walk from river to lake and experience a safe architectural and cultural delight. Some may say, even this is too ambitious. I say no, because careful examination of this neighborhood shows it to be surrounded by health, French Quarter and CBD on the south, and quality residential on the north. Within the borders of the targeted area are assets including Charity Hospital, Upper Canal Street, Iberville Public Housing, Lafitte Corridor, Armstrong Park Congo Square, Municipal Auditorium, and Greater Treme. These once vibrant assets, now either underutilized or blighted, are all being focused on at the same time and can be revitalized simultaneously over 3 to 5 years and reconnected by streetcars on Canal, Loyola, and North Rampart, a showcase for the 2018 Tricentennial. Two well-intended government programs, housing and transportation, have had extreme and unintended negative consequences on the city center and the Treme neighborhoods. Iberville, perceived by many to be a ghetto, kept the French Quarter, which is vibrant from Bourbon to the river, from healthy development on the Rampart Street side. The medical community viewed Upper Canal Street, adjacent to the Iberville Public Housing Project, as a barrier for eastward expansion. The impact of the I-10 on Greater Treme will be discussed later in this presentation. The transformation of Iberville is underway with construction of 222 units of mixed-income housing on Iberville Street. When completed, the full Iberville 40-acre site will become 900 mixed-income homes, 1/3 occupied by former public housing residents, 1/3 workforce units, those with incomes less than $30,000, and the final third market rate housing. A revitalization similar to St. Thomas in the Lower Garden District, now known as River Garden. Historic buildings along the major spines, Bienville, and Marais will be preserved, with the rest of the Iberville site housing to be newly constructed, drawn upon the architectural vernacular of the former Storyville neighborhood. The Housing Authority is doing an extraordinary job relocating Iberville public housing residents. Urban strategy is highly focused on the human issues that invariably result from this kind of undertaking. The adaptive reuse of the former Texaco Tower on Upper Canal Street is underway. 112 units of elderly housing and retail on the ground floor will be available for occupancy in February of 2014. On the western flank of this center city neighborhood is the former medical district, including the monumental historic buildings, Charity and the VA, both to be donated by the state to the city. The mayor's vision is to adaptively reuse Charity into a civic center. It's a brilliant use of space. Making a decision on the location of a civic center in a major city should include a prominent physical structure, visibility on the skyline, and the adjacency of green space. Our present City Hall was intended to sit prominently along the Basin-Loyola corridor. In the 1950s, Basin-Loyola was thought to be the next major corridor in the city after Canal Street. Actually, Poydras Street achieved that status. The present City Hall complex is fronted by green space, Duncan Plaza. As to visibility on the skyline, Charity sits prominently, as you can see from the perspectives, from Canal Street, Bienville, and even as far as Esplanade Avenue. Charity was designed as an important civic building in the Art Deco style, clad in limestone, emulating Rockefeller Square in New York City. The mayor's plan includes City Hall in the center, the Civil District Courts in the Lakeside wing, and he's exploring locating facilities for the neuroscience and hyperbaric medicine in the Riverside wing, adjacent to the Tulane Medical School and Hospital. The Civil District Courts, located on the Lakeside wing, can be fronted by a park between Tulane Avenue and Canal Street, perhaps to be named Justice Park. A separate and distinct identity and entry for the courts in the Lakeside wing. Housing City Hall in the courts in separate wings of Charity creates a powerful city center. Although I fully expect the mayor and the governor to find financing necessary to revitalize Charity for City Hall and other uses, not including the Civil District Courts, is a missed opportunity. I am concerned the financing plan put forth by the courts does not provide sufficient resources to build a new Civil District Court building. Charity provides the courts substantial savings in construction and a significantly shorter delivery schedule, as well as quality materials that cannot be replicated in new construction. The courts can greatly enhance the reality of creating a new home by joining the mayor in his vision for Charity. New construction on the second floor, located in the space between the center and Lakeside Towers along Gravier, accommodates 14 column-free courts, below which will be a column-free city council chamber. The judges' chambers and jury rooms can be appropriately located adjacent to the newly constructed court. To create green space across from Tulane Avenue, in front of the entrance of Charity, we are recommending the demolition of the Butterworth building on the lakeside corner of LaSalle and Tulane to allow the creation thereon of Justice Park, as well as greening the wall and rooftop of the Tulane parking garage. An earlier iteration of this PowerPoint shows the relationship of Charity to Canal Street. A worker in Charity will be able to walk out of the front entrance onto a park and to a shopping center to be developed on Canal Street, a good place to work. The floor plate of the Riverside wing accommodates laboratories and research facilities for the neuroscience and hyperbaric medicine. Every city in the United States is trying to capture a piece of the bioscience industry. By focusing on a niche, what we're good at, neuroscience, and hyperbaric medicine, greatly enhances our city's ability to obtain the necessary resources to make this sector of the bioscience industry a reality. The President has made neuroscience the centerpiece of the scientific research he wants to conduct during his administration. Hyperbaric medicine is now understood to significantly improve the chances of survival for victims of heart attacks, gunshot wounds, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and many other diseases. Our region is well known as the home of hyperbaric medicine, where equipment was developed to protect underwater divers injured in the Gulf of Mexico. Parking for the many workers contemplated for Charity can be accommodated in a 900-car proposed parking garage to be located behind Charity across Gravier Street. HRI since 1984 has done almost $2 billion of adaptive reuse of historic buildings around the United States. Invariably, you hear that you can't put a hotel in an old department store. You can't put residential in a manufacturing plant or a former office building. Or today, you can't put City Hall or courts in a building formerly built for a hospital. I think we've proven over our history that these concerns are unfounded. Matter of fact, these buildings, with their large windows, great ceiling heights, marble floors and walls, great materials, actually make better buildings than you can afford new construction today. So what our experience is, those that express concern usually come back and after we've won substantial awards for our projects and congratulate us. Upper Canal Street has sufficient vacant property to develop a shopping center, 350,000 square feet, about half the size of Lakeside, with restaurants, apparels, and home furnishing. Today's shopping centers require the adjacency of entertainment facilities. We have them on Upper Canal Street with the revitalization of the Sanger, Joy, and Lowe's. Canal Street, one of the great streets of the world, is 190 feet wide from building face to building face, almost 17 lanes counting the sidewalks and the neutral ground. Great streets of the world are made beautiful by landscaping, particularly trees. The 8 travel lanes on Upper Canal can be modified to add tree islands, as well as trees on the neutral ground, creating a wonderful sense of place. This center city revitalization will have a positive impact on the entire city, and particularly the medical complexes, UMC and VA, and the tourist industry. The UMC VA hospitals provide New Orleans with medical facilities now competitive with Houston and Birmingham. The adjacency of this city center revitalization builds on our competitive strength, our culture, our mystique, our charm, allowing the medical industry to outcompete its competitors for medical professionals and families of those needing long-term care. Steve Perry, head of the Tourist Commission, wants to grow tourism from 9 to 14 million and knows that the French Quarter is overloaded. Consequently, we have to expand our footprint, expand the show, which can be accommodated by this revitalization of Upper Canal. The neutral ground of North Claiborne Avenue in the Trernane neighborhood prior to the introduction of the I-10 improvements. The city is a recipient of a $2 million federal grant to study the Claiborne corridor, with one option being taking down the I-10 from Tulane Avenue to Elysian Fields. This could reinvigorate the once vibrant African-American neighborhoods of Greater Treme. Great walkable neighborhoods are what New Orleans is famous for, our calling card. Objections to removing the I-10 are now being expressed by the Port of New Orleans and those concerned about gentrification. Given this opposition, I recommend a decision on the I-10 be deferred until a regional traffic study is concluded. Hopefully, Our levee-protected city will continue to attract people from throughout the United States and the world to live here, and our population can grow to 500,000. It is within that context a regional traffic analysis could consider light rail or fast buses to and from the east, which could ameliorate the unintended consequences of removal of the I-10. In adaptively reusing Charity, landscaping Upper Canal, creating a shopping center on Canal, and revitalizing Iberville, the goal should be to create another great place, like a Jackson Square. What's that worth to our community? Dr. Tim Ryan, an economist, gave us the answer. This city transformation, he concluded, could be worth $1.9 billion, that's with a B, in present value, new tax dollars for the city and the state. When transformed, the city center, with its many assets, will connect the healthy riverfront and lakeside neighborhood. Thank you. I hope this has been enlightening.